Hello, welcome. God bless you. This one is on cops. I was trained to respect them and to trust them, to work with them because they can have a difficult job. They've trained me over the last several years, especially living an alternative lifestyle, not to trust them. The only time to call a cop is to be victimized again. So, hey, if you want to be victimized, call 911. Seriously. You really, and I know there's like, oh, women have it all, like all the laws are for them. Like, I would love to know where the hell women are being protected. I've never once been protected. And I don't know any of my friends who's ever been protected. Not once, no matter how violent the crime is. Even when I was in elementary school, I had a boy who was older than me. He got in a fight with another boy, lost it, sought me out, attacked me from behind, left me unconscious and bloodied, and they did absolutely nothing other than to tell him, well, you probably shouldn't do that because you probably get in trouble later down the line. He left me unconscious, nearly killed me, and he attacked me repeatedly after that, and never once was he punished. I've never seen a guy punished for doing something against a female. It seems like they're only punished when they do something against another male. It's alarming. Like, being a female is just really dangerous. Your only hope is really if you have a good guy who will defend you, or gangs. And I'm being serious. I know a chick, the guy did bad stuff to her, and it was the gang in the area that took care of it. So but yeah, for the first time in my life, I believe that cops should not be allowed to have guns. I've never had that belief. I am pro guns, but not for cops. They're just too dangerous. I don't know if their training has changed or if they're just allowing any and everyone on the force. And no matter what the job, certain personalities work better for certain jobs. And law enforcement, that's a really, you're dealing with people in not in good situations and crisis situations, and if you don't excel at using your words and getting along with people and getting control over a crowd with your words, if you can't handle things verbally well, and if you can't control your temper, you shouldn't be given a loaded gun. You just shouldn't. And especially, I find it alarming like how many police departments are being militarized. It's like we're not at, the government shouldn't be at war with its own citizens. So why they're bringing in tanks and other things is highly alarming. And I also find it, I don't know if you'd say peculiar, hypocritical, asinine, that state after state will go to no death penalty. And even their life sentences are not for life, which, excuse me, but when you have really vile people who can't live in society in peace, we need to have the right to get rid of certain people. We need to have the right to protect ourselves from murderers and rapists, period. And building, spending these ludicrous amount of money. I mean, at the moment, you're nasty and you get lifetime housing, food, entertainment, and medical. That's not right. And families can live in fear for the rest of their life. I had a professor, his sister-in-law was murdered, and the guy vowed to break out of prison and come murder the rest of her family. And mind you, she didn't know him. It was a random murder. And he was in jail for a long time, in prison a long time. He wound up breaking out, and they caught up to him en route to her family. It's bad enough to lose a loved one. It's bad enough to be robbed of your innocence. But to have to pay to keep that scumbag alive and to have to live in fear for the rest of your life and for your children's life, that's really wrong. So yeah, if you're not gonna enforce the death penalty on really nasty crimes, well then cops shouldn't be given guns. If a state of law can't throw you in jail when you are found guilty, then why is a cop with no trial have the right to kill you? it's just, I don't agree with cops having guns anymore, especially in the States with no death penalties. And goodness gracious, like, let your words just be your words. If it's a life sentence, then let it be a life sentence. Yeah, and yeah, female cops are really nasty towards other females. They have like an axe to grind. Females in general have an axe to grind usually with other females. Female cops are the worst. Even when I was in my youth, I had a female cop trying to prove my friend's age by my ID. Okay. But yeah, and I've had really bad experiences out here, especially if it involves a man. It's like, well, you brought it on. Him seeking me out is not bringing it on. Me acknowledging the fact that he exists is not bringing it on. Like, what millennia do you live in? What nation do you live in? Are you for real? And they are. It's ludicrous. It's just, it's alarming, some of the things I've seen. That's for sure. Let's see. And then I have had issues with certain people. And with female cops, they always are like, you brought it on. And with male cops, it's like, yeah, that's wrong, but we're not going to do anything about it. And I've just found it alarming. There was one situation where it was like this guy was highly inappropriate and he parked right in front of me. So I got all his information and I called it in and they wouldn't even take the information down. It's like, if he's willing to do this in broad daylight with a ton of people around, like this, like, what else is he doing? He's not a good guy. This might be really good information to have. And they wouldn't take it. It's just alarming how often cops look the other way, make excuses and encourage really nasty behavior. The two people I've had the most issues with, oh goodness gracious, it's a guy, we park in the same area for the same amount of time. We both came to this area. He's always been in this area, but he started hanging in this one area the same year I wound up starting to live alternatively and coming out here. So we've been in the same area for like basically the same amount of time. And he would always stop by and talk. And I know one year I was gone for quite a while. I came back. I had major losses that year, and he apologized to me for like his prior behavior. And he started love bombing me and like pursuing and rejecting me, and because he'd never done that before, but not to that point. And it was just it's really unpleasant. He's just really controlling and unhappy and highly critical. It was not fun. One day we were talking, not arguing, just talking, and he's going to kill you. And then he said how he was going to kill me. Oi. And I'm like, we're through. And he's like, no, we're not. I'm like, yeah, we are, because you cross way too many lines too often, and that is so far beyond. I'm not dealing with that. And I know some people from his youth, and they're just like, yeah, that's how he is. Like, no one's ever figured him out. He goes from the most fun guy in the world, and he just snaps, and it's, no one knows why he snaps, and he just goes to a really nasty person that you don't want anything to deal with. And it's like, that's really too much drama for me at the end of the day. I'm not dealing with that. I didn't move into my car to get away from drama, to like move into drama. But yeah, so he responded by starting to see this gal who had been after him for a year. She's been in the area for like 3 years now. I have never once ever heard a nice thing said about her, which is just peculiar. She's very violent towards men and female alike. The cops have been called out on her multiple times. I only called one time. Other people, there's like, she's really violent with people. I mean, the one guy, she's busted out his windows, given him a black eye. She's attacked other guys. She's attacked females with like pepper spray. She hit a bicyclist with her car, which the cops refused to come out on that one. The lifeguard was just beside himself. It's really alarming when cops encourage bad behavior. It's just so highly inappropriate. You're supposed to be encouraging peace and harmony. What's the point? Seriously, there's no point in having cops if they're not going to encourage peace and respect towards one another. But yeah, so I know the one day before the sun even rose, she's at my car pounding on the windows telling me that I wasn't allowed to park where it's parked. I was just like, oh my gosh, chick, seriously? Like, you need to grasp the fact that this is public parking. I can park wherever I want to. And you know what? Why don't you stop coming to where I'm at? You never used to park here before. So, hey, stop coming here and don't be like, stop the bullshit of like coming here before I get here and then saying I'm stalking you. Because everyone knows I used to park here. You never parked here. So just stop the drama. Like, I don't have anything to do with you two. So, shut up and leave me alone. And I mean, they'll even try to dictate to people, like, if they're allowed to walk there, who's allowed to park. It's like, how old are you? But yeah, so later that day, he sought me out. He got right in my face, like flipping out. And again, I'm like, dude, I don't talk to you. I don't talk about you. We've both been coming here. And I even started going there less by that time, a little bit less because of the drama. But it's my favorite spot, and that's why they screw with it, because they know it's my favorite spot. It's like the one place I can go and breathe, despite everything. And I'm just like, there's no reason why we can't all be here in peace. I have nothing to do with you, so just stop screwing with me. Like, stop all the drama already. To which he punched me in my face, flattened me to the ground. I grabbed for my mace. I started spraying it at him when I was getting up. I called the cops. None of the mace reached him. Called the cops. They came out, and the cops wanted to throw me in jail. Not him. Me. They said I had committed the far larger crime. I'm just like, he seeks me out, is highly aggressive to me, goes physically violent against me, and it's like not man and man, but it's not only a man versus a woman, but it's a former pro athlete versus a disabled chick. It's beyond pathetic. And yeah, they said I committed the far larger crime, and it's like, mace is legal, and I would have never used it if he didn't go physically violent on me. They didn't really want to give me a card. They did. They wouldn't put down the real reason they came out. That really broke a lot of trust. They were really so unbecoming and underhanded on so many points. And they said that it was a domestic issue, not a legal issue. It's like, how is her hitting my property and him like hitting me domestic? How is that not a legal issue? It's like, we've never been married, never like lived together, never engaged, don't have any kids. I haven't spoken to him in like a year. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, just more bullshit of guys can do whatever they want. It's really frustrating. He has apologized. Someone attempted to murder him earlier this year. From what I hear, him and everyone thinks it is her. I know all the guys are like, yeah, they're going to kill each other, but they're going to kill you first. And I've just been warned yet again. Like, if she did take the hit out on him, she won't blink an eye on you, and she doesn't want you around. It's like, and it sucks because I have really altered my life, and this is like my favorite place, which really sucks. And she's following me more. So it really doesn't matter if you move, because she moves with me. So I'm trying not to be too alarmed, because tomorrow is never promised, but not cool at all. And yeah, I definitely don't trust cops anymore. I see them in a completely different light. But yeah, alrighty, bye.